Hello, my name is Krashibaya, and these are my forbidden fruits, my noetic nectars, my ramblings of well, I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but my ramblings of a raven. How about that? We can go there. Ramblings of a raven. Anyways, how goes it? Yeah, so I had to take some notes on an affirmation. An ascension affirmation. I'm sorry, it's windy. I'm outside. That big bang over there, that's a distraction. I wonder if people are going to come outside and start working on the roofs. Apparently, my mom said that was what was going on. Nobody was, no trolls were, commanding their, or playing with their sticks and their wood, sticks and shields. They were just, it was just people working on the roofs. But, anyways, I wanted to take some notes on the ascension affirmation, and I wanted to talk about the observer because I had I had switched. I had flip-flopped. I had gone into the I almost wanted to say catastrophizing, but that's not it. I went to the flip-flopped. I had done the flip-flop again where I I kind of changed my perspective. I've switched perspectives. It starts with a C. I use the word so often and now I can't think of it. I not criticized, but I was criticizing myself as I was speaking about as if I were speaking about left and right sides or church and state, as I was arguing for, the side of, let's say, ascension. As I was arguing for the side of ascension, I was defending the side of the overseer, As I was arguing for freedom, I was defending the side of the prison walls, basically. It was getting confusing because, to be honest, there was a portion of it where I was talking about being the observer and the observed, but if we can't be honest, it's a problem. And that sometimes we need to call in an observer, someone that has, I said control, but I meant authority. Someone who can kind of say, hey, what's going on isn't okay. People are getting hurt, what have you. And that would be, like an overseer. But then they would be looking down upon, they would be observing, I guess, right? And at the same time that they were observing the observer, and the observer can become the obstruction. We are, and we can be the obstruction in our own lives, like in our own development, through our, against our own ascension, basically. We can stop ourselves from growing and evolving. And who am I to tell you this? You know this. And that's where it's just so like, oh man, why are we doing this again? And so we don't stop, really. I don't think we ever stop. We just slow down. We got distracted. It's distracting us, like I said, with the trolls beating their hammer, or not their hammer, but yeah, it did sound like hammer nails, but beating their wooden sticks against their, wooden shields or whatnot or whatever, just to get our attention or to distract us from the the oddities that were going on around us that were going to get us off on a different path. And not that it was a path, not that it wasn't a path that we could go down. We can go down any path that we'd like. However, it would be slowing us down even more so. And so they're our friend and our foe. And sometimes our decisions are our part as the observer, yet the observed, and yet the obstruction. We tend to sit and think on it too long. We are the decider. We are the chooser. We have a choice to make. We know what we want by knowing already, as Abraham Hicks would say, what we don't want. And yet we are so scared. The fear, and I we all know what where the fear comes from, but yet it comes from so many places. We don't want to put our finger on it and think about it, because then will we recreate it? Will we recreate it by thinking about it? Haven't we already purged it? Are we going to, linger in it too long again? And there it is that we have, obviously, because we are there now. Worried that it will happen again. And which one will it be this time? And are we going up the spiral and just gently looking to the past and saying, that has happened, I will not let it happen? But people's just words get in the way. It's the negative self-talk, and that's where all negativity comes from, and we know this. And we know this, and we know this, and we know this. It comes from negative self-talk, and it seems like it is ourselves when we are in the womb. So we cannot blame others at all, because for all we know, it started manifesting in the womb, and it felt like and seemed like it was from others. So no blame, no shame. It is not in our being. It is not of our being. It is not a core frequency of ours. Certainly not of our own making. It was just and we say self-talk because it came through our mind. But that was, we didn't even know what the words meant at that point. We just knew what we felt and what we heard. You feel me? You feel me? I'm out in the woods, you know what I'm saying? And so many plants. I need to listen to them. Tell them how much I love them. I'm sorry for all the damage that we people have done to make room for ourselves, because there's a lot of fear going on in and around us before we got here. And we're all just doing the best we can with what we know how. There's no guilt, there's no shame, and I have a whole to-do on that inside the house. I gotta get in there. Hi, birdie. Hi. I will get in there and I'll read about that to you too. I needed to get outside, and the best way I knew how was to give me a purpose to get outside, and not just to talk to my phone or the birds, because people make you feel crazy when you do that. Even though there's good intent behind that, just as good the intent of picking up garbage in the forest, But you hear the whisper. Anyways, I love you. I'm going to let you go. Because people are creeping up on me. No, I'm going to let you go. I love you. It's getting chilly out. You take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon. Bless out, Booch. I love you so much. All right.